Everyone, so here we are, the final chapter of our class novel, the 91 story Treehouse. Okay, here we go, chapter 13, the last chapter. We all set to work as fast as we can. We write and we draw and we write. And we write and we write and we draw and we draw. And we draw and we draw and we write and we write. And finally, we're done. Look, says Albert, as we all pore over the pages. There's me. And there's me, says Alice. And there's me, says Terry. Look, Andy, I'm in a book. I'm in a book. Goo goo, gaga, said the baby. You're in every book we write, I remind him. So, he says, shrugging, that doesn't make it any less exciting. I'm in a book, and so is Andy, and so are you. Yes, says Jill, and it's come out pretty good too. In fact, I think it might be my favourite one yet. Mine too, says Terry. The only thing that could possibly make it even better is if we push the big red button now. Can we, Andy? Can we push it? Yes, says Albert. Can we? Can we? No, I say, it's too dangerous. You heard what Madame Know-it-all said when we asked her about it. She saw big explosions and then a whole bunch of doom. But what if the big red thing Madame Know-it-all saw exploding wasn't the big red button? Says Terry. What if it was Mr. Big Nose's big red nose exploding after she pushed him to the limit of his patience? Yes, says Jill. She did say herself that she didn't know absolutely everything. So it is possible she may have been wrong about the big red button. I suppose it's possible, I say, but I don't know. Even if there's only a small chance that pushing the big red button will blow up the whole world, well, that's a pretty big risk to take. But not pushing it is a big risk to take us too, says Terry. We might miss out on something really amazing, like rainbows coming out of our noses, for instance. I want a rainbow to come out of my nose, says Albert. So do I, says Alice, jumping up and down. It does sound quite nice, says Jill, but then I wouldn't want the whole world to blow up. All right, I'll say. We'll take a vote. All in favour of pushing the big red button so we can find out what happens when we push the big red button, raise your hand. Terry, Alice, and Albert put their hands in the air. OK, I say. Now, all those not in favour of pushing the big red button so we can find out what happens when we push the big red button, raise your hands. Me, Jill, and Albert put our hands in the air. Albert obviously doesn't understand what voting is, or maybe he just likes putting his hand in the air. But a vote is a vote, so I count it. It's 3 in favour and 3 not in favour, I say. It's a tie, says Jill. Hang on, says Terry. What about the baby? The baby didn't vote. Good point, Terry, I say, but where is the baby? We look around. Oh no. The baby is climbing onto the big red button. No! I yell, but the baby just says, goo goo, gaga, and pulls itself up onto the button, crawls towards the middle and plops itself down. Ka-chung goes the big red button. We're doomed, I yell. We're all doomed. The baby has just pressed the big red button. What do we do now, says Terry. There's nothing we can do, I say, except wait for our doom. But when's it going to happen, says Terry. Yeah, why is it taking so long, says Albert. Yes, says Alice, you promised the world was going to blow up. You promised. I didn't promise, I say. I said it might happen. Just be patient. You can't rush the end of the world. It will happen when it happens. If it happens, says Jill, I think it's looking more and more likely that Terry was right. Madam Know-it-all confused the big red button with Mr. Big Nose's nose. Bad luck, says Andy. Sorry, you were wrong about the world blowing up. That's all right, I say. Look on the bright side. The whole world didn't blow up. Yeah, but look on the not so bright side, says Terry. Rainbows didn't come out of our noses either. Actually, says Jill, speaking of noses, mine does feel kind of funny. It's tingling, says Alice. Yes, says Jill, mine too. And mine, says Albert. And mine, says Terry. What about yours, Andy? Well, I must admit, I do have a very odd sensation in my nose, but that doesn't mean... Whoosh! Zing! Sparkle! Wow. We've got rainbows coming out of our noses, Andy, says Terry. This is the best thing ever. And to think you didn't want to push the button. It's very cool to have rainbows coming out of our noses, that's for sure, I say. But what would make it the best thing ever is we could somehow help us to get our book and the children to Mr. Big Nose on time. Wow, says Jill, look at the size of that rainbow coming out of the Trunkinator's trunk. It's enormous. Have a look at that. Yeah, says Terry, it goes all the way over to the forest and into Mr. Big Nose's office. This is just what we needed. We can use the rainbow as a bridge, I say. Come on, everybody, jump on. We climb up to the top of the Trunkinator's head and slide up the rainbow. Over the forest. And down into Mr. Big Nose's office. Looks like our work here is done, I say, as Alice, Albert and the baby hug Mr. and Mrs. Big Nose. I guess we better get back to the treehouse, says Terry, before Trunkinator's trunk rainbow fades. We're just about to climb back onto the rainbow when Alice and Albert come running over. Goodbye, Andy, Terry and Jill, says Albert. Thanks for the best babysitting day ever. Goo-goo, gaga, says the baby. You're welcome, I say. Come back whenever you like. It was really nice to meet you, says Jill, and thanks for all of your help looking after Andy and Terry. See you next time, says Terry. We turn to leave. Wait a minute, says Alice. She takes a black pen and writes World's Greatest Babysitters on one of Mr. Big Nose's publishing trophies. It's for all of you three, says Alice. Thanks, said Terry. We love it. Yes, I say, it's definitely going in the trophy room. We climb back up onto the rainbow and slide up over the forest and back down into the treehouse. What are we going to do now, says Terry. Build another 13 levels on our treehouse, of course, I say. I hoped you were going to say that, says Terry. I knew you were going to say that, says Jill. The end. Can't believe we made it to the end of our story. So we need to choose our new class book. We have got two choices to go for. We've got The Monster in the Lake, which is all about a wizard and weird things start happening to them. Or we have got Rabbit and Bear, A Bite in the Night, where they think that trees might fly. I will put the voting link with this video, so if you want to click on it and decide, and I will start reading this as soon as we have a decision. See you all soon. Bye.